In other news tonight, pensioners say they feel forgotten after a second month of problems accessing their social grants. This after the Post Bank announced a cash shortage yesterday at some of its branches in KwaZulu-Natal. It came just a month after a technical glitch left thousands of pensioners in particular unable to access their grants. This was last month. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan is live for us in Durban tonight. Karinda, you've been speaking to some of the people affected. What are the pensioners and community organizations telling you about this problem?
Certainly, good evening. Well, definitely the issue around Sassa grants opens up the conversation to the struggles that elderly residents face on a daily basis. Like you mentioned, many of them saying that they feel forgotten. That's the messages that we got today when we visited one of the frail care centers here in Durban. And we went there with the purpose of speaking about issues in terms of accessing Sassa grants. Many residents or elderly residents cannot go to ATMs because they feel unsafe. They don't have transport to go. Simply, they're old. They don't know how to use that technology. They've forgotten their PIN numbers. And so there's a whole process to be undertaken when that happens. They're used to the more less digital ways of doing that, the more manual ways of doing things. And so at this point, while they discussed that, they also said that this money for many pensioners is all that they have to look forward to, because in many cases, especially at frail care homes, the residents are there because they've been forgotten by their families. Some had faced abuse, some neglect, and really the conversation then went on to explain that as a community they feel forgotten. There's no safe places for them to go to just be out and about, to live the rest of their life in a safe and peaceful way. They're very scared because they are a vulnerable group. And so all of these issues really came out just on this topic of Sassa grants and accessing the 2,000 Rand that they're going to use to take transport to government hospitals where they need to further get medication. If they don't have this grant, they can't go to hospital, which means they'll miss their appointment, they won't get medication, and they'll miss their treatment for that month. And hopefully they'll get to the next month to get their appointment done and their medication done, among other things that they want to live the rest of their life for. Just little things to spoil themselves. That's what they use the Sassa grant for, especially if they're in old age homes. Many of them also saying that they wait for calls from their families that never come. So this really just puts into perspective the sense of that residents or elderly residents, pensioners feel they're forgotten. Take a listen to one of the community organization's founder just on this topic.
A lot of our residents, 38 of them to be exact, in the last 2 weeks as such, still haven't received their Sassa grant. This has had a big knock-on effect to those that need to travel to hospitals because they haven't had money to get to hospitals. They haven't had money to go and get their medication. They've missed their medical appointment at the doctor, so they now have to rebook a new appointment. It's not just a matter of walk-in at the government hospital. They have been unable to get their basic needs, their basic toiletries. It's just it's a horrible knock-on effect. Many of these people don't have families who can assist them, and the problem with this is that that money is all they have to depend on.